picture this. You're on your way to work. Same routine.
Right.
Right. But you get there and the office doors are locked.
Yeah.
That's the situation some folks at Lloyds Bank are facing right now. And it's kind of peek into the future of work, how it's all changing so fast.
Absolutely.
So today, we're diving deep into that future, looking at tech, and how work is evolving, changing all these industries.
Yeah, what's so interesting about this whole Lloyds Bank thing is it's like a mini version of what's happening globally.
Right.
It's not just one company cutting jobs. It's like understanding those bigger forces and what they mean for everyone.
Exactly. And we've got this Financial Times article about
Yeah.
Lloyds, cutting jobs, closing offices, but we want to go deeper, right?
Absolutely.
And cover the why behind it all.
Yeah.
So the article talks about Lloyds cutting, around 500 jobs, mostly back office stuff.
Right.
And I know everyone hears job cuts, not good news, right? But there's more to it. And what really struck me was they're also creating new roles, dozens of them.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Like, it kind of hints at a strategy shift, not just downsizing.
Right.
Lloyds is pouring money into tech, things like AI customer service, automating all those back office processes. So they need people with different skills now to manage all that new tech.
That makes sense. So instead of needing tons of people manually doing things, they're moving to systems that can handle it automatically.
Exactly, yeah.
But what about the people whose jobs, are being affected by this whole automation thing?
That's where those new roles come in, right? We're seeing huge demand for data analysts, the people who can make sense of all that info these systems generate, cybersecurity folks to keep it all safe, and then those specialists in AI ethics, making sure it's all, above board.
Right, right.
So Lloyds is reflecting this big trend, really.
Yeah, and here's where it gets even more, complicated.
Yeah.
The article mentions Lloyds closing offices, Speke, Dunfermline, more people going remote.
Interesting.
It's a bit of a, two sides to the coin, right?
Absolutely.
You get flexibility, no commute, but then maybe isolation, impact on local economies. What do you think?
It's a massive debate right now. The whole future of offices. Some companies are going fully remote, but others, like Lloyds, are doing this hybrid thing, hubs and communities, they call it.
Interesting.
Not your typical office. Think more like collaborative spouses, for specific tasks, team stuff, client meetings, booked when you need them, not just sitting there empty.
So less assigned desks, more like purpose-built areas for different ways of working.
Exactly.
But the article also mentions, unions are worried about these closures, the impact on workers, communities.
Yeah, for sure. You got to acknowledge those downsides.
Right.
Unions are right to point those out. Some folks might end up with longer commutes or have trouble adapting to working remotely.
Yeah.
And then there's the economic impact, on towns where offices close. It's complicated. No easy solutions.
No, absolutely. And Lloyds, they say in the article, these closures are part of their plan to create, fewer, better equipped, modern, and sustainable offices.
Yeah.
They're also really into building those hubs and communities in key areas.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah. So what are the potential good things that could come out of this approach?
Well, for employees, it could mean more flexibility, better work-life balance.
Right.
Imagine working from a co-working spot in your home or having dedicated spaces for focused work, then others for collaborating.
Like it.
And for companies, lower costs maybe, and they can attract talent from anywhere, really.
It's a whole new world, isn't it?
It is.
And so for everyone listening, right now, this is happening, work is changing.
Yeah.
And the skills you need to succeed are evolving too.
Absolutely.
So if you're in a field that might be affected by automation, what can you do to stay ahead of the game?
It's all about learning constantly and being able to adapt.
Right.
Figure out what skills are going to be in demand in your area and, invest in learning them.
Don't be afraid of new tech, new ways of working.
Right.
And your career, it might not be a straight line anymore. So be open to learning new things, maybe even switching roles completely.
So true. So one last thought for everyone. As tech reshapes the work world, what does your ideal work environment look like? Is it home, co-working spaces, the occasional office visit,
Right.
or do you do better in a more traditional setup?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, the future of work is being shaped right now.
Absolutely.
And your voice, your choices, they're part of that conversation.
For sure.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening,
Thanks.
and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.
See you then.